Greetings, fellow traveller, and welcome to another video. I'm still here, and you know what? I've gone against what I was gonna do, just because it's been ages. I've fumbled stuff. I've not done enough videos, but so you're getting two drawings. So you're getting two drawings for the price of one today, in a sort of frantic attempt to try and reignite my passion for making these little character design things and get me to do something. Just get me to make anything, really. Dungeons & Dragons. You like it? Drawing characters. Do you like that? Do you like Baldur's Gate 3? Do you like video games? Do you like fantasy books? I love all that shit. You should subscribe. And you might see some random stuff and things and fan art and random pixel art-y, character design-y, landscape-y things. Just do it. For me. Not for yourself. Let's start up this parasocial relationship. Come on. I know you. You're a little freak. You're scrolling around on YouTube looking for something, anything. Get on. Come, get in here. I've made a lot of promises. I've fallen for the trap. I'm going to stop myself there. The nature of just making videos, especially when you just don't write a script or anything, I'm going to repeat myself. I'm going to sort of have videos where I just don't really say much. I'm also going to say, feel the need to say stuff. Does that make sense? Basically, I was about to say how I'm very much one of those people who is struggling with the nature of saying stuff and then feeling accomplished. That you say what you're gonna do, and then you feel accomplished by that, and then you don't actually do the thing you say you're gonna do. Talked about it a lot on this channel. I think that's fine in the sense of in what these videos are. If I am saying stuff, I'm gonna do this, I sort of let myself off a little bit within the context of these videos, because I'm just making conversation. If I said, I'm trying to work on something, a comic, tell me about your little comic ideas. What are you doing? We're all doing that. We're all thinking up things, making our little stories. It's cool. That's fine. But separate from that, trying to work on it. Let's not talk about stuff we haven't done yet. I'm actually currently in the process, just so you know, of making a little commission sheet. It's almost done. I've almost finished it. It almost exists. It might be on my Twitter or wherever soon. But I'm pretty proud of it. I really was struggling with the graphic design of it all. But I've got some other ideas. So I've made a commission sheet that's just for pixel art, animated video loop landscape things. But I'm thinking of maybe doing a separate commission sheet for sprites, but also another one that's for more illustration-y stuff. Having people commission to draw your house or buildings, places, just because I've done it and I like it and I can do it. So that's cool. Motivation, that January feeling of motivation. It's good to take some time off, even though it's a classic stereotype of new year, let's do some new stuff. Forcing yourself to just sit down and do something new for yourself, as much as anything, is a good thing. I also have been randomly looking back at random videos that I've made and just seeing the vibe of what I'm talking about. And some of them are good. Some of them are good, man. Some of them are absolute. But some of them are, So I see why you're here. I understand it. I get it. Character design. This one's cool, isn't it? I want to do just to update you again. I'm gonna try and do all the Dungeons & Dragons classes. Fun. I am a bit unsatisfied with sometimes with the style of how I make some of these characters. Only because I think I instantly relate it and I make myself think about how I'm gonna do it in a comic, and I think that sometimes maybe these designs maybe aren't the exact style that I'm looking for, or maybe they're it might be about the fact that they're too overworked. Maybe they're too complicated, too good. Make them a bit simple maybe for when I do my comic. Stylistic choices. Character design. It's hard, isn't it? I do enjoy thinking about it though. Seeing as you're getting two characters, you're getting the wizard, you get in the rogue, some of the classics. I would say I tend to, at starts of things, if I had to generalize and pick one, I tend to go for the rogue character over most things. I'm currently playing a monk in Baldur's Gate 3. Very much enjoying it. Think it's really cool. I greatly enjoy the idea of the sort of kung fu / spiritual stuff, but within a fantasy context. That's what made me think the monk character was really cool. The fact that it is a fighter and it's getting in there, but it's all about like dexterity and like martial arts skill, and like there's a little bit of magic with its like key punches and stuff. Really cool. So yeah, I'm playing a monk. We're so close to the end. Not to spoil things, we've just defeated a devilishly hard character with a very hilarious moment. Kind of crazy. A lot happened there in the house. And then there was music and a song, and it was hilarious. During the big battle, music started playing that cracked me up. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to I wondered if we could learn something together. I recently finished reading one of the Moomin books. Great. You should all read. I think it's called The Comet Over Moomin Land. I can't remember the exact one. I'm pretty sure it's the first Moomin book. It's called like The Comet in Moomin Land or a Comet something. Anyway, just the vibes. Moomin vibes are great. Like, sure, they're kind of meant for kids, but they're not really. I would argue it's fantasy. Just stories that have like incredibly simply written philosophical ideas. Just the way that things are written is cute and cool and inspiring, and I like books, all right? And anyway, that was just a roundabout way of me saying I got the last 2 Earthsea books that I didn't think existed, and Earthsea is one of my favorite books of all time. It probably is my favorite book of all time, the Earthsea Quartet. But then I didn't realize until a couple of years ago that there was another 2 stories. There's like a short story book and then a finale. And the funny thing is, the 5th book, that is like the last story, that's the one that the rubbish Studio Ghibli film is based on. And that was what I've always found so funny. When I read Earthsea finally, I saw the film first, and I was so confused when I was reading the book. I was like, these are kind of characters that are in the books, but it's all different. And then I read the synopsis of the 5th one, and I realized it's just that. That's just it. So I'm actually excited to read it. Anyway, incredible fantasy novel. Incredible world building. Incredible magic, lore, wizards, characters. I think Ursula K. Le Guin said that, you know, her magic is very much based off like sort of Native American folklore. Obviously there's like, yeah, big Celtic influences as well. Very much just to do with like man and nature. That's where the root of the magic comes from, and just the power of words and how words are the sort of the way that the magic is controlled. That was all to say. I just wondered if I could like look up some stuff. We could just learn stuff together. I could look up wizards and stuff, guilds, magic, shamans. What do we know? But what do you really know? Everyone knows about the history of it, right? That Egyptian guy did the first like magic trip in like 2000 BC or something. Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to really find out. I don't even know really what I wanted to talk about. You know, Lord of the Rings, great wizards, and then rogues. I mean, I feel like it's harder to talk about rogues because the idea, the character and the creation of the rogue archetype, it's a bit more vague. It's a sneaky character, lockpicking and hoods, and running around in the shadows, sneaky like, with a dagger and a coin. Could be anything. But yeah, as much as it pains me because it's like Amazon, I actually really enjoyed the Rings of Power. I basically didn't like anything that happened in Numenor. Then the reveal and just, I don't know, he was just a bit too nothing. Sometimes it was cringy, but other than that, I loved it. Loved the hobbits, loved the little grey pilgrim, loved all the orc fights, just really cool. Anyway, this is not what we're talking about. I tried to read the Silmarillion. It's a tough read. Top 10 real-life wizards of the world. Archmage, mage, magus, magic user, spellcaster, enchanter, sorcerer, warlock, witch, or wizard. A set of tales regarding wizards can be found in an ancient Egyptian text known as the Westcar Papyrus. In one tale, for instance, an unnamed scribe uses magic to make a wax crocodile for the purpose of catching the man whom his wife was having an affair with. In another tale, the chief scribe of Sneferu uses magic to part the waters of a lake so that a girl could retrieve the green jewel she dropped into it. Third tale tells of Dedi, who is said to live during the time of Khufu, and among other things, he is said to have the power to magically reattach the heads of decapitated animals to their bodies. Wow, that's just like that thing, isn't it? Incredible. The Merlin of Japan. Now we're talking. Now we're learning something. Another wizard who served in royal court was a man by the name of Abe no Seimei, often dubbed as the Merlin of Japan. Seimei was a historical figure who lived between the 10th and 11th centuries, a practitioner of Onmyodo, a mixture of natural science and occultism, exorcisms, warded off evil spirits, and prophesied the future. Additionally, numerous legends sprang up over his death, making Seimei larger than life. For example, legends say that Seimei was half human. His mother was a kitsune, a fox spirit. Should look into them. Seimei, Seimei, malevolent wizards. A Christian saint by the name of Cyprian. Saint Cyprian was originally a pagan wizard. In order to gain the love of a virgin called Justina, he summoned demons to do his bidding. The demons, however, were not able to do anything to her, and she made the sign of the cross. Show me the pagan shit. Wicca. Of course it's Wicca. Also known as the Craft. Syncretic, earth-centered religion. I've got some friends who are Wiccan. A friend of mine, he lives in Iceland. He studies and writes about plant life and sort of Icelandic traditions. It's cool, but I don't know much, you know. And I'm also I feel like it, like with most things, he's actually really good. He also like posts and calls lots of bullshit out. Like he'll call out all those bullshit fake like magic spiritual stuff that you see online of like people just trying to get your money or just like doing bullshit fake stuff. That type of stuff, if we're going to tread into this conversation, lots of that stuff as well is very much, if someone's like saying like their way's the only way or like the best way to do stuff, this is like an aside, but I'm just saying it's fine to be skeptical and still enjoy things, have fun with ideas, philosophies, different cultures, folklore. Too many people are like hard-headed about this stuff, and I think it's much better to, as we know, tread lightly. Hold strong beliefs, sure, but when we're talking about like things that maybe aren't life and death, you can enjoy stuff and not fully get involved with it, if you know what I mean. I don't know though, someone could probably twist that sort of little sentiment around and say how sounds very centrist. I despise centrism in politics. That's like the worst sort of shit to be. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Wicca was founded in England between 1921 and 1950, apparently. This is all thanks to Wikipedia. Thanks, Wikipedia. You're the best. I finished reading that little book as well called Gaia Philosophy. And you know what? Not incredible. I liked it enough, but it didn't really say anything I already kind of knew. If someone asked me to try and explain the concept of like the Gaia Earth model, I wouldn't be able to do as good a job as the book did, but I could pretty much just describe what it was saying. It's basically this sort of philosophy or idea that the Earth can be viewed as a kind of single entity. It's not like an environment where life is on, but it's sort of a more dualistic thing where each is fundamental. The way that they put it is saying that the Earth has life on is the same as saying your skeleton has skin on, and that one supports the other. I don't know if I've explained that well. Caveat to that, two things. One, there's the weirdness of like, why separate Earth then? It's almost, in my opinion, not much point in like really sort of fighting for the Gaia world model. You might as well just say all is one. Like the universe is one event happening and it has Earth in it. You've got this concept of like interconnectedness that is sort of universal. And then you're just narrowing it down to just talk about like how Earth is one thing. Anyway, then the second thing that I didn't like, maybe necessary, is that there was a certain element to it. We're talking about the book, it's called Gaia Philosophy. That's what it's called. But there was a certain element, it kind of implied the idea that like it almost said that like global warming, even though we're having an effect on it, that the world will balance out. Whether or not that means, you know, humanity dying out is what it meant. I don't know. It just felt a bit weird, a bit like sort of, oh, don't worry about anything. Anyway, I think I've gone on way too long. What can I find out about rogues? I mean, I would say Robin, like we're talking about history, real life stuff, as well as folklore and fantasy, the history of like stories. But would you say Robin Hood would be a rogue? I mean, in appearance wise, I guess more of a ranger, but I would say he's a rogue. But one cool thing always is that I'm always a big fan of in fantasy stuff is the Thieves Guild. Give me a good Thieves Guild in your story. If anyone knows any books out there that has a good fantasy Thieves Guild plot, even if it's a side plot, tell me about it. I love that shit. Little chaotic good for the people, Thieves Guild, interconnected organization, steal from the rich, give to the poor. Give me that. I've just looked up on Wikipedia. Some stories of 1001 Nights celebrated artful thieves, criminal brotherhoods with a hierarchy of code and honor. Sandalwood Merchant and the Sharpers features an old man known as the Sheik of Thieves, who delivered judgment on less experienced sharpers. This was based on actual thieves guilds in Cairo in the Ottoman period. They survived up until the 19th century and were mentioned by Edward William Lane in the 1830s. A central feature of Miguel de Cervantes' story, Rinconete y Cortadillo, set in 16th century Seville, is a city's strong and well-organized thieves guild built to the model of the medieval guild. I mean, here you go. Oh, there's one in the Discworld, Farford and the Grey Mouser. Black Magician series. Well, there's some. Let me just briefly talk about this art that you've just watched. Thanks for bearing with me. Don't know what sort of tangents we went down today. Yeah, these both turned out well. I mean, very much also just like looking at these past three characters, the fighter, the rogue, the wizard. I kind of, you know, lots of the stylistic choices and character designs on this very much were like black character designs. That was a choice. I always think about, there's Magic the Gathering brought out Lord of the Rings cards. I've got some actually. I've not played it though. I bought the box set for like a starter pack. I've never played Magic, but I always think the art's cool and I like card games. But anyway, Lord of the Rings, and they made Aragorn black, and you know, he looks fucking badass. Obviously he got loads of haters needlessly. It's just a fictional character that can be drawn and designed in 100 different ways, whatever. But there was like a TikToker of an American guy, a black guy, just sort of posting about the character design, and he was just getting so emotional that like this character that he loved from Lord of the Rings and like one of his favorite things looked like him because it's so rare. And I just thought that was so fucking cool. So just in general, it's something that I'm conscious of. I know I'm just like a white guy drawing characters or whatever. I've got a certain way that I like to design these like characters' outfits and clothes and things, and like there's lots of ponchos and stuff. I feel like my stuff isn't full fantasy. It's not like dialed all the way up to 11. I like the sort of maybe adventure timey / I don't know, bit anime kind of vagueness about like what technology or designs or things that they have in the fantasy world, whilst maintaining magic, swords. That's what we're working with. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking of like Einstein, kooky, weird, zany characters. I was thinking about all sorts of stuff. I mean, the rogue is like more of like an orc character. I think it was like a sort of like kind of a goblin-y orc character. I don't know. I think they turned out well. I don't know. And then I tried also like I made sure to do like color schemes as well. It's like the fighter was red, the wizard is blue, and the rogue was yellow as their main like colors. And I had loads of fun making the sort of the graffiti style, magazine-y style graphic design. And I'm hoping to do more. So look out. I've already planned kind of what I want to do for all of them. So who knows? I hope you enjoyed this little video of me rambling, designing these characters. I'll see you soon. I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, because it's a bit scary, but I kind of don't have any art or drawings to show you, except for maybe just to tease it a little bit. But I've been working on a new intro animation. I like doing it every once in a while. I think felt like a change. So I've got a feeling the next video you see is going to be me making my new intro animation. I don't know what will be after that. I've got no clue. I hope you had a good break over the new year. I hope your year's off to a good start. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I am. But I hope you're doing okay. I hope your projects are going all right. I've been working on some commission stuff. I'm getting by, but I want to get back into my own stuff some more. So, and that includes YouTube videos and things. I hope I was all right to listen to for a little while you just go off and you're doing your little drawings. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you still clicking on these videos. I would hire you if I was the master of a Thieves Guild. I'd be coming to you first. You'd be right up there in the ranks. Oh yeah, you're Artful Dodger level. You're Artful Dodger level for sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see where we get. We might have to start that soon. That might be my only choice if the world keeps going the way it's going. See ya.